Hi, everyone. Pastor Will here. Welcome to our conversation this week for Sunday, July 7th, 2024. And we are in the peak of summer. It's upon us. And at this time, each and every year, we come together as a country to celebrate our nation's independence on July 4th. So let me be the first to wish you all a happy Independence Day. And in honor of America's birthday this week, we're going to look at one of the most beloved patriotic songs here in the United States with a rich history that dates back to the 19th century. The song, you may know it, it's called America the Beautiful, or as it's entitled in our ELW hymnal, Oh Beautiful for Spacious Skies. So the lyrics to America the Beautiful were written by a lady named Catherine Lee Bates during a train trip she took out to Colorado Springs in 1893. She was heading out there on the train to teach at Colorado College as a visiting professor. Bates was an English professor at Wesley College, and she was a poet as well. Several of the sights on her trip out to Colorado inspired her, and they found their way into her poems, including the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago as she traveled through there. The White City with its promise of the future contained with gleaming white buildings. There was the wheat fields of North America and the heartland of Kansas, through which her train was riding on that July month back in 1893. There was also the majestic view of the Great Plains from high atop Pikes Peak. And on the pinnacle of that mountain, the words of a poem started coming to Dr. Bates, and she wrote them down upon returning to her hotel room at the original Antlers Hotel. She wrote out the first verse, Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties above the fruited plain. Bates initially entitled her poem Pikes Peak that summer in 1893. It was published 2 years later in 1895 on the 4th of July in a periodical called The Congregationalist with the title America. So the first known melody of this poem written by Dr. Bates was sent in by a man named Silas Pratt when the poem was first published in The Congregationalist. 5 short years later in 1900, at least 75 different melodies had been written for this poem. The most famous of which was written in 1882 by a man named Samuel Ward. Samuel Ward was the organist and choir director at Grace Church in Newark, New Jersey. And he was generally considered to be the best, and his version was generally considered to be the best version as early as 1910. And it's still today considered to be the best version. Just as Bates had been inspired to write her poem, it turns out that Ward too was inspired to write the tune to the poem. It came to him while he was on a ferry boat trip from Coney Island back to his home in the city. After a leisurely summer day, he immediately wrote down the tune. And he composed the tune from the old hymn, O Mother Dear Jerusalem, retitling the work, calling it Materna. His music combined with Bates' poem, it was then first published together in 1910, called what we know it as today, America the Beautiful. So Samuel Ward, he passed on in 1903, never knowing the national stature that his music would attain. The song's popularity was well established by the time Dr. Bates passed away in 1929, and it's been included in the songbooks and hymnals of many religious congregations throughout the United States in the 20th and 21st century, including our own ELW here. It can be found as hymn number 888, and we call it "O Beautiful for Spacious Skies." That's an easy number to remember, 888. So over the past century, especially during John F. Kennedy's administration, there's been many attempts to make this song, America the Beautiful, our national hymn or our national anthem, to replace it or to stand it aside from alongside the Star Spangled Banner. And these efforts, as we know, have not succeeded. Supporters of America the Beautiful argue that it's an easier song to sing. It's more melodic, it's more adaptable to new orchestrations, while remaining as recognizable as the Star Spangled Banner. Some prefer it because the Star Spangled Banner has war-related imagery in it and problematic references in the third verse. And others prefer the Star Spangled Banner for its war themes. So there's a debate on both sides. And despite the debate preventing the change, America the Beautiful is still a highly esteemed song and was even considered to be the national anthem before the Star Spangled Banner itself. Other notable versions of this song have been sung over the past 100 years by many other musicians, such as Elvis Presley, Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, Charlie Rich, Barbra Streisand sung it, Mariah Carey has sung it, Whitney Houston, you name it, tons of different country singers as well. But to me, the most memorable version of this song occurred in 1976, sung by the musician Ray Charles when the United States was celebrating its bicentennial. It was a soulful version popularized by Charles, and it peaked at number 8 on the U.S. R&B chart that year. And his version of this song, America the Beautiful, it's been traditionally played on New Year's Eve in Times Square following the ball drop. So as we leave you from our conversation today about America the Beautiful, we're going to play for you Ray Charles's song, and hope you enjoy it and listen to it. God bless you all. God bless our country, and I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July and Independence Day. We will see you this weekend for worship. God is with you. Take care. Take care.
Beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, make God thy gold refined, till all success be nobleness, and ever again divine. And you know what? when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh, beautiful, far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned thy good. Yes, he did. Heavy brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me sing this.